Okay, so now we're going to be moving into the next section of this one, which is the widgets. And I know that we had covered it earlier, so we're going to just go back there, and we're going to be actually setting up some of the other areas of our site that is normally not configurable from the pages. So to do that, we're just going to go down here. So make sure you're logged into the back of your website and go underneath Appearance and then Widgets. Okay, and that's going to bring up this, and like I said, we were in here before. We're going to go through each of these ones and make sure that we have the right things set here that we want, and according to the way that we want the design. And then we're going to save it and continue to work through each of these, adding or removing stuff as we want. So over here is the bank of widgets that you can use, and some widgets are already included in the theme that we downloaded, and it's indicated by this here. Some themes or some plugins, they might not give you like the widget might not be obvious that that's from a particular plugin, but good ones do. You can always scroll down and look here at all the different options you have and what you can use, and it's just really simple by clicking and dragging it over, and you can add that underneath certain areas. Okay, so let's without further ado, let's get started on this. So the documentation on your theme may come with some description of what these widgets do or where they're located on the store, but most of the time you're kind of relegated to have to look on the site and see where they are. It might give you a good indication of what it is based on the name. Like here it says main sidebar. So let's go on an investigation on what that main sidebar does so that we can edit it. So we have about the author here, some categories for probably, it looks like blogs and things like that. So that's going to give me probably an indication of what I need to look at. So I'm just going to go to the site. Okay, and I'm going to look down to see or click on a page. Let's click on a blank one like this FAQs page that's blank. Okay, so here it is, the main sidebar at the side. Well, do you really want this to have everything here about an author on your pages? Probably not. So this is I would say something that I would only want on blogs. So when I am editing the pages, I'm going to make sure I remove the sidebars off this because I don't want to have this main sidebar there. So we'll be doing that when we actually go through and edit each of the pages specifically for how we want them. But let's say somebody did click on our blog, okay, and you wanted to see exactly, so here's that hello world post at the very beginning that comes in automatically. Do we still want this here? You can choose to not have anything on this sidebar at all, or just a few things. So to do that, let's say I want to put the search above the author picture, and I want I don't want this tags cloud here. So I can click on this and go delete, and it will remove that tags cloud. So so it's actually saved automatically for me as I've done that. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to refresh this, and it should have the search bar on the top like this, and the picture here, as well as the categories and this recent or popular articles. So for the blogs, this makes sense. Now you might not want your picture showing if you're the author. You can always just remove this. Like you can remove it by clicking it down and deleting, and you don't have a bio in there or anything like that, or the theme author. Or you might be able to change the image. Just upload a new image to this and change the biography to something else. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now because hey, this is going to be my blog, right? So let's say okay, I'm just going to write this, and I'll pause it, and then I'll write it. So I've gone ahead and I've uploaded my image here, and I've set my bio. So I'm going to click this. So I've already uploaded the image, and now it's in media library. So I'm going to click on here. Now a lot of this is driven from the theme, so it shows me a little bit of a different view than what you might be used to, because actually what I need to put in is the URL of the file. So I'm going to click File URL. So here it is here. Here's the URL. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm only going to select everything after this colon. The reason why I'm doing that is because it allows the browser to decide if it's going to use secure or unsecure. I know we're defaulting to secure, but it's just a good fail-safe way of actually including images without having to worry if my site is secure or not. So that's going to change it. So I'm going to click Save on that. Okay, and should have saved. Just double check. Okay, now I'm going to flip over here and hit F5 to refresh it, and hopefully it's removed that picture and it's put mine here with my blog, or sorry, my bio here. So there you go. I've changed my image, and I've made some information here by updating this particular widget. So I can go ahead and minimize this by clicking this little arrow. And so I can keep going down and updating that sidebar. So everywhere on the website, there is bar areas and stuff that we need to edit. So for this for instance, is order online and call, which we talked about before, I believe. It's up here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually, you can put whatever you want here. And I am going to come back to this actually, and we're going to change this to something interesting. Now, we're going to keep going down. I'm going to finish the widget section here, but I will have another video, which will be the next video. It's completely optional. I promise no coding. But if you're really interested, I'm actually going to create in the next video, I'm going to show you how to create what's called a short code. And that short code will dynamically change what sits in this field. To when somebody's logged in, it'll say welcome back and the person's name and some information there. So when they're not logged in, it'll have a generic message, and then when they've logged in, it'll say welcome back John, or whatever their name is. And so if you are interested in doing that, I'll show you how to do that, and it's actually really easy. But if you do not want to do that and you just want to have a generic message in here, you can skip the next video, and I will have put in a generic line in here in the interim. So I just put a generic message in here. You can put whatever you want. I'm just going to put this: we sell top quality products, and save it. So if you're not going to do the next video, just put something like this in there and save it, and then we can refresh this and we can see what is on the top here. So we sell top quality products. And so yeah, whatever message you want, you know where to come back and change this if you want to have it change it up every so often, and or you can do something a little bit more dynamic, like we're going to do in the next optional video. So that's going to be a bonus, and hope to see you on that one. But if not, we're just going to be moving on anyways, and we're going to go through each of these and actually update what's in them. So I'm going to start going through. I'm going to pause the video, and I want you to do this as well. Go and investigate through each of these and see what's in each of them. Where do they sit on your website by kind of getting the idea of what it is based on the name and where it exists on their website, and then of course doing this to edit them. So I've gone down and I've actually gone and seen a little bit more, and I've made some edits here. So here's the right top side area, and what I've done is I've actually put in the Facebook link here. So if you know your Facebook page that goes to your, say, brand, your brand Facebook page, and I highly recommend you sign up for one and you're using it, you put it in there. If you've signed up for Twitter and you have you'll have a link to your Twitter, to the Twitter account, and any of these other ones, Instagram, Pinterest, all these down here that you might be using as part of your social media, you would put them in there. Now, if you don't want the icon to show, before it had something like this on it, just delete that, and I think it indicates to the system that you do not want to show that on your website, okay? It also gives me a colorful icons thing. So I've done that. I've also done it on the mobile area, just basically copied it over. There was these on here, which I'm going to get rid of as well. Save it. Okay, and what I'll do is I'm refreshing this to see exactly. So before it had a lot more icons here, now it's only showing me the two. And if I click on them, they're going to go to the Facebook or the Twitter page that I had set. Okay, and if you noticed again, when I put the link on there, I put the / with nothing in the front of it. And that allows me to continue to stay secure. Just so you know, if you put http:// and the name of, say, facebook.com, it will actually cause your site to have an error message that you're not secure, or you have links that are not secure. So it's just a good way to avoid that problem, is just to leave that out. Okay, so I'm just going through here and just skipping down here to the shop sidebar. This is, now if you only have a couple of products, good place here would be to remove this sidebar options. And so remove this whole thing completely where you don't have the product categories or filters or anything. You might want to show something else here instead. All I needed to do was click, delete, and that will remove the sidebar so I went to products, that's the shop page. It'll remove this. So that's this sidebar here. That's what this shop sidebar is. So set that to how you want it, and keep going down so you can see now if I accidentally deleted this, I know that this is WooCommerce product category. So I had categories ordered by name. So I'm just going to show you, I'm going to delete it, and we'll get it back again after. So there it's deleted. I'm going to refresh this, and it should disappear. Now all I have is filter by price. Okay, so if you only have a few products in here, no categories, you might only just want this in here. You don't want that list of categories. But let's say I made a mistake, and that happens quite often. I'm just going to minimize these other ones so I can bring this up a little bit higher. I could scroll down the list until I find the one that has WooCommerce product categories, and it looks like this one, a list of drop down of all product categories. Okay, and I believe that's the one we want. So we're going to click on this, and we're going to use our scroll wheel while we're holding the mouse button, and we can bring it back up here, and we can change the name. Order by name, already had show hierarchy, and I'm going to save it. So I just should have fixed this now. It should have gone back to the way it was before. There it is, and we've gotten our categories back. Okay, so that's how you would click and drag stuff up higher. So you're holding down your left mouse button, and you're using the scroll wheel on your mouse at the same time, and it brings it up. Another way you can do it is by clicking the page up button on your keyboard, and then it'll bring you up as well. So that's ways to do it. Okay, so there we go. We've done that. The shop filters page. And after the products, so this is what's happening after below. So you have this widget here. It's probably that one. So we're going to actually look to see what this is about. So this 8 theme static block indicates to me that this is something to do with the theme. So I'm just going to scroll on here and look, and there should be something here that says static blocks along the side here. So I'm going to click on that, and we can see how we can edit these. So we have shop banners below the products. Okay, so I can click on that and edit it. Now, on a side note, the one thing to keep in mind is if you don't see the static blocks, I'll show you how to enable them. So if you go down to the theme options here and go to general, so this is just for this theme. I mean, if you're not using this 8 theme thing, you might not even see, you'll probably not even see that this static block thing. Go to general, like I did, layout, and you should have this enable statics block turned on. Okay. And you can turn that on. It just enables this option up here that you can edit, and that will enable your ability to edit those things. Okay, and so if you don't want to use any of these, like testimonials or brands, you can turn them off, and then they don't show up in the list of these menu items here. If you do turn them off, then of course you want to remove those elements from your pages, and we'll be talking about how to edit your pages after. But some of these are controlled by widgets, which are like the static blocks. So it's on. That's great. I'm just going to go back to this page here, and we can see that what's showing here is these looks like icon box and things like this. This looks like it is Visual Composer. So what you can do is, if you don't see, like if you see this and you don't see any Visual Composer options here, we should be able to turn this on for Visual Composer. So I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. So if you see this funny code like this, it just means that this is called a post type or a custom post type. These are all post types, like posts, pages, and things like that. That's what WordPress calls them. Okay, so we're going to turn on the ability for Visual Composer to see that. Okay, so we're going to go down here to Visual Composer. Okay, and we're going to click on, I believe it's Role Manager. And I'm just right clicking on it, opening in a new window so I can come back here. Okay, and here we have a bunch of options here, and post types, we want to make sure we have custom. Okay, and we see how it just has pages here. We can also turn it on for things like static block, testimonials, and we don't need to necessarily turn it on for products, because we're not going to be doing anything spectacular with the product description fields or anything like that. It's just, we want just text there. So we're just going to leave that, and that's going to allow us to be able to edit these. We're going to go back to our static block, this one. Now that I've turned it on, and you can go ahead and close that Visual Composer Role Manager thing. We can also close this if you've had to open up this theme options here. You can close that as well. If you go back here to this static blocks, and we're editing the shop banners below the products post. Okay, we're gonna click on the top here and hit enter. And what we should see is the custom post types thing appear. Okay, you can click on the backend editor if you want. You can edit this in the back. So we're going to be actually getting into the Visual Composer on the Pages section, or on the Pages video. So if you want to learn how to do this, you'll see those in Pages. So you can always come back here. So this is exactly how we will be editing these. We can also do a front end editor, which I don't think in this particular thing will work the way I think I would expect it to, but I can try. Yeah, see, oh no, it's down here. Yeah, see, it's, if I hover over, it doesn't work. So you have to do it here. So this is if I click on my mouse button here, okay, and I can do something like that, just for fun. Okay, I'm just going to update it just to make sure I've got the right one. Okay, and I'm going to click on this, and we're going to hit enter there. Here we go. It was just, yeah, sorry, it was this one just below the page. So here we go, worldwide delivery, free shipping. So we also got this one down here we need to find. So worldwide delivery, free shipping, that's this one here. So I have the ability to edit these again. So I'm going to go click on that little thing, and I have, oh, I can scroll up here, and there's the title. So if I want to edit this, I have the ability, I can change the icon. So if you want to put something advertising here, you can. I mean, you can change these things around. And again, like I said, please refer to my future videos on pages, editing pages, and that's going to give a way more in-depth understanding of how to use these. I just wanted to show you where you go to update this information. right, so we finished going through each of these, and as you can see, I was flipping back and forth between editing a panel, opening up the site, refreshing the page, and going down to where that widget area was. Like for instance, down here on the footer, I was refreshing it. So all I did was put the menu items that we had created here. So if I went down to those areas, like the footer, you can see I had dragged custom menu over here and put it into these widget areas by dragging them over, and then I just simply selected the quick links menu that we had created. So, and then of course I gave it the title quick links. So I can actually stack these on. Like, you know, if I wanted to put this here, I can just stack it on and have it underneath, and simply it will just go underneath here in this area in the footer. So that's exactly how these work. Please just go check, try different options, click and drag things, and also try different widgets here to see how it looks. I followed exactly how I wanted the stuff that I wanted to have on there based on the sitemap that I created, so that I wanted to have the quick links. And now I did leave the column 3 empty because in there, this is the section where we're going to put the affiliate stuff in there. And I also, if you noticed, put here a white version of the logo just over top of this text. So we are located here, and that's the contact section here. And you know what, maybe later we'll actually look at putting a little tiny contact form here, although we will have a contact form in the contact us section. So that's doing widgets and changing all of this stuff up in the bars up here through using the widget tools and all of the sidebars here. If you have any questions, feel free to go into the Facebook page or in the comment section below, and hopefully myself or somebody on there will be able to answer your questions. And so now we're going to move on to the next video, which is again optional. That is on how to create this, basically, where it is actually welcome back test. Now test is what I used as my first name, and that comes in dynamically. Okay, so that's what's going to be in that section, and we'll see you in the next video.